Hi, this is Michael Ellis. If you don't see any other free energy video, you need to see this one because I have a lot to share with you. Now, I did write a new book about free energy physics and radiant energy circuits and all that good stuff, based on some Tesla technology that I've encountered and reproduced from theories and everything, and stories about Tesla that I've read about and stuff, and just kind of took and work with in electronics and physics and stuff. So you might want to take a look at that. It's on Kindle and on print format. You can go and buy it on Amazon. It's called Lessons from Tesla, and the subtitle is, oh, if I can remember it, it's like harnessing the power of the Earth's magnetic field. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And I'm gonna show you a few circuits. Some are from the book. Some are new since the book that I've been playing around with that have come to me through channeling or other sources. So I'm gonna share those as well. And I guess I'll get right into it. Okay, the first circuit I'm going to share with you is the most simple and the most important, and that is the resistor network. Now, I call this the solar net because it emits a type of energy similar to orgone or radiant energy. It basically emits a low-level form of sunlight minus the harmful radiation because it's not actually producing any type of atomic reaction yet. If you scale it up like a million times, obviously it will, but we're not at that scale yet. So it's just emitting beta voltaics and some minor forms of like infrared and stuff, and orgone, stuff like that. So that's basically what this does. It works on a nanoscale, or on a nanotechnology scale, because obviously the carbonite, and that's what you got to use. You got to use carbonite resistors. Those interact with each other across the junctions with the metal, and just in series and in parallel, they emit radiation of types that I just mentioned, and linking them together in long chains enables this type of reaction to occur. Just interactions with the noise in the environment and stuff. So like the Earth's energies and stuff, like magnetic field and the like solar radiation and whatnot. Like the 60 hertz stuff that goes in the atmosphere. So so basically what you do is you link them together in squares, and you just do that a million times, and you get this nice burning energy that's somewhat offensive at first, but you get used to it, and then it feels like you're sitting in the sunshine. So yeah, it's really weird like that. And the key is to use like mega ohm rating resistors, because those are the most powerful, and that's what you'll get an effect from. So these are actually 470 mega ohm resistors, and I just got about a package of a million of them, it seems like, or probably like 1,000 or something, off Amazon. That seems to be my source for stuff, anyways, and it works. And I'm told via channeling that they emit beta radiation, which are electrons, like pure electrons. So electron rays. So I'll have to put up some aluminum foil and see if I can get some charge off of it, or or expose them to some capacitors or something. I don't know. See if I can get anything out of it. Maybe charge up some batteries with it, if there's anything coming off of them. But obviously nothing on the oscilloscope but noise. So obviously here's a little diagram of that, like how it's set up. So that's that. That's the simplest one. The next step up is the wireless resonator, wireless power, something Tesla was working on. This is similar to the magnifying transmitter. It uses a diode instead of a spark gap, and it uses a tank just like the primary in the magnifying transmitter, but instead of using a secondary and a primary coil, it just uses a single coil, and it just feeds noise into that big coil, and then it gets a resonance out of that coil. So that's the only difference from the magnifying transmitter. The diode and the only big coil, or well, there's two differences: the diode and the single coil, and it broadcasts radiant energy or wireless power. I'm sorry, broadcasts wireless power. And you just get it directly from noise, from the environment, from the ground, wherever. And I chose to do this on orgonite. Oh, I just got shocked. Okay, because it produces a lot of noise and radiant energy and stuff. So the copper pipes actually produce some shocks, and electrons and stuff comes off of them. A little electron energy comes off of them. If you actually take an LED and you hold it up to the to touch the pipe on orgonite devices, it'll actually light up. It'll get a little charge off of them, and you can get little sparks to come off and light up LEDs and stuff. At least with the bigger cloud busters, anyways, the full size with the 6 pipes and stuff, or 6-foot pipes. And anyways, so this is the circuit as it looks like in real life. You know, just the inductor and the capacitor and the diode. And if you put like a high resistance, meaning like an air resistance, like a spark gap or neon tube or something, between the ground and the coil, you can actually develop a really high tension and something that'll shock yourself or burn you. So you got to be careful with that though, because you can actually get burns in your skin that'll last a while. And I've just done that experimenting with it. It's kind of painful, but I don't know. You got to be careful with it. So there's that. Now the next one up is actually a healing device. And this is, I thought it was a heat producing unit, but what it was really doing was working the muscles or stimulating the muscles in my body and creating heat in my body that way, and thus making me feel warm or warmer by stimulating my muscles. Somehow this goes past the skin and stimulates the muscle tissue, and it heats you up by activating your muscle tissue on a very small level. And the way it does this is by picking up through a coil and resonating diodes. And depending on the direction they're facing related to the coil and the variable capacitor and the degree that the capacitor is open or closed, you will get more or less energy in a hot sense or a cold sense. Cold is towards the capacitor, the coil. Warm is away from the coil, meaning the polarity of the diodes. So these are warm diodes. This is a cold diode, or just a blocking diode in this case. You always want to have one facing the opposite direction to kind of control it. Otherwise it gets really out of hand and gets really hot or really cold, and then it feels really uncomfortable. So you always want to have one blocking either way. That's my little secret. So that's that. And then a battery or some other mass to ground it. So it can be a dead battery too. It's not charging or using power or anything. It's just acting as a ground. Battery acts as a wet ground. It's a mass of lead and acid, and it acts as a sink for anything like a car battery would. Absorb the energy. And Tesla always used the positive as ground, so I did that in his spirit. So anyways, these work your muscles, and you will get buff, and you will get healed, and it will do everything for you positively. I made pendants out of these that are sunk in organite, like that, with the coil on the back, and all the electronics in it. And you get sore because you wear this while you're sleeping or just walking around during the day, and it works your muscles. It's just a field effect. So it works your muscles while you're sleeping or while you're walking around during the day, and you'll wake up sore, and you'll like really feel it, but you get used to it, like, because it's exercise. Basically, you're getting exercise out of these things. This is what you're doing. So I want to use this for people who are like bedridden. That's my ultimate goal, is to get these in like hospitals and nursing homes and stuff, and have people wear these, and it can keep their muscles built. And I've actually tested this on myself, and I'm getting results with it. So I'm actually getting more toned muscles. That's what I noticed. And the big one that's sitting on my desk is actually working through the wall on my parents. Don't tell them. But, and I've noticed my dad looks buffer because he's really skinny, and my mom is losing weight and stuff, so it's working. And she complained about being sore, so it's kind of my fault, but I didn't know what I was doing. So, anyways, it works. It works. It definitely works. And you get muscle buildup, and it heals you at the same time, and it does a lot of cool stuff for your body. It really works well. The key is to put it in organite, though. That's what really is powerful. Whether it's just mica or whether it's mica and metal particles. Put it in organite. That's where you get the power from. And that's the kind of stuff I want people to use. So that's why I'm making this video, is so people can use this technology in public places for healing, wireless power, healing, energy generation, that type of stuff. Energy broadcast, energy generation, healing, power plants, stuff like that. This will be a power plant too, and I'll talk about this later. It's also a good communication device. So stuff like that. So this is the big healing one, though. So I want to mention this. This will keep people alive in bad situations. So so this is a biggie. This is like the vibrational medicine that Al Bielek was talking about. The kind of stuff that you use to tune your body to a healthy state, that'll build up good systems in your body, or it'll clean out this bad stuff in your body and build up a healthy status in your body, like muscle and toned, and keep the bad stuff out and everything. And organite is basically good for extending your life and keeping you from dying, even if you're really unhealthy. So that's that. But you can argue to the moon and back for that, whether it's effective or not. I've just proven it basically in my life. So I'm not convinced of that. Anyways, going on. And the final one I want to talk about is my ant. And that's why I'm Michael Ellis. It's because I've got the ant. I've got the ant. It's a Monty Python reference. You'll get it when you watch it. 1974, Ant Complaints. Monty Python episode. Or Buying an Ant. Just watch it. There's time travelers among us, I swear. Anyways, this is the circuit. I know this drawing is really bad, and I apologize for that, but I've labeled all the outputs and the inputs, so hopefully you can make sense of it that way. These are NPN, which are negative, positive, negative. Oh, I didn't write down the type of transistor they were. They are, what are they? If I can read this. They are MJL 21194, I think is what it was. Yeah, MJL 21194G. And the G means they are lead-free. And these are big, powerful transistors. You can use any transistor you like, but these are kind of rare but they're powerful and they are really resistant to electromagnetic fields and static electricity and stuff like that. And they'll survive huge voltage ranges and overpowering and stuff like that. So, sorry. They'll survive just about anything except overheating, which I found. So that's an issue. So you might want to put heat sinks on them. But yeah, they'll survive about anything else, voltage or current related. So that's why I use them, basically, because they're basically EMP resistant. So, like, if there's nuclear war or something, I'd depend on these just as much as vacuum tubes. So, anyways, moving on. So, this is the circuit. So, you have them two connected at their bases. And this is one node on the circuit. You have the emitters hanging down, open-ended, not connected. You have the collectors attached to the emitter and collector of the third transistor. And you have the base connected to a diode at the top of the circuit. So that's what it looks like in real life. It looks like an ant. And there's a little piece of copper, or big piece of copper wire attached to all the nodes and connection points. And you can use this for power applications. It creates radiant energy. It's good for antennas and communications, radio receivers. It's basically a big quantum computer, is basically what it is. And it doesn't compute things per se. I channeled this, basically. That's how I came about this circuit. I was told by Nikola Tesla that I invented this. So at some point in history, I invent this circuit. But I don't know which one of my alters invented it. But I inherited this from Nikola Tesla, who told me I invented this. So at some time in my history, in my several incarnations on Earth, I invent this circuit. Or multiple personalities, who knows what. But sometime in the past, I invented this circuit. So that's what I was told. It could have been a joke, who knows what. I inherited this from Nikola Tesla's spirit, which I channeled. So I don't know how exactly it works, but it produces radiant energy. It acts as a quantum receiver of types. It connects to the quantum realm. So it can probably be used as a quantum computer. Like a qubit or something. So I'm just suggesting that. I don't know if it does or not. I don't know if you can do like comparator type stuff with it or not. Or if it has like 3 inputs and outputs. Or 3 states or 2 states or whatever. But I do know that you can get really good radio reception and really good TV reception out of this without using any antennas. So there's that. And there's a special way you have to hook it up. But I'm not exactly convinced on which is the best way to do it. Because I've been hearing different stuff from different people, like spirits, and none of it tends to work the best way as the way I originally hooked it up. So I don't know which way is the best way exactly, because I'm getting different results on different setups, and some are better and some are worse, and then I don't remember stuff. I didn't write it down. So I don't know. Like, I think the original way I did it was best, but then I'm not so sure because other ways are working better. I don't know. I'm not going to guarantee anything on this, but it works good for high definition TV, digital TV, and works good for radio. That I'm sure. You can get radiant energy out of it, but you'll have to figure it out for yourself, because I'm not going to tell you, because that's a technical secret of mine, and so you'll just have to figure it out by playing with it. So anyways, so I'm giving you the circuit. You can play with it, you can figure it out, but I'm not going to tell you how to use it. My only responsibility from my religious beliefs is just to give you the circuit and let you figure it out. Because otherwise I'm gonna patent it for an antenna. But whatnot. Anyways, I have an antenna set up that works, and I'm gonna patent that. But I just want this circuit to be made public. So anyways, that is all. Thank you for watching. This is Michael Ellis.